how do you keep all of these people straight as you're thinking about and writing about this very complicated history?
At one point in the book, I talk about how it's kind of like putting together a puzzle. And let's say it's a 1,000 piece puzzle, but you know for sure can only find 700 to 800 of those pieces, but you still want to find as many of them as you can. So you know you're going to have missing pieces, right? But in order to make sense of it, you have to kind of know the shape and outline of the puzzle. So I really needed to keep that information organized in my head so that when I would come across a name, that I knew that it was a name that I was tracking. So I also had a document with a list of people's names. And anytime I would go into the archives, I would say to myself, okay, if you come across this name, because you're going through so much material so quickly that it would be easy to not remember or to skirt over it. And so I started in documents I knew had something to do with Christophe. I would just add the names that were in that to the sheet. And then sometimes I could just search in my Dropbox because I can't remember it all from memory. I wish I could. And I would say, oh, I'm so glad, I'm so glad that I wrote that name down. So glad that I didn't take anything for granted, that this wasn't a person who was part of the story, because I didn't know who was going to be ultimately a part of it and who was not going to be.